All right, accounting, chapter 4, lesson 2. Now we're going to write off and collecting uncollectible accounts receivable. First we'll learn how to write off the uncollectible account receivable, and then we're going to account for the collection of an accounts receivable that was written off. Basically, we're writing off customers that won't pay, and then they're going to go ahead and pay, and then we have to account for them paying. Very annoying. Lots of paperwork that needs to be done when a company refuses to pay and then realizes they should pay. All right, when a customer account's determined to be uncollectible, a journal entry is made to cancel the uncollectible account. This entry cancels the uncollectible account from accounts receivable in the general ledger, as well as the customer account in the accounts receivable ledger. Canceling the balance of a customer account because the customer does not pay is called writing off an account. Let's see, recording uncollectible accounts expense only when the amount is actually known to be uncollectible is called direct write-off method, and that method doesn't comply with the general accounting principles. So that doesn't happen, but we do write off the account. All right, so in January 25th, we wrote off Edmonds Hospital past due account as uncollectible with a memorandum. So in our general ledger, we're going to decrease by $639.88, and we have a new balance. Accounts receivable goes down $639.88, and there's a new balance there. Notice we haven't touched Edmond Hospital's account yet. The amount of the uncollectible account is deducted from the allowance account. That's what we're doing right here. Accounts receivable is credited to reduce the balance due from customers. Edmonds Hospital is also credited to cancel the debit balance of the account. Edmonds Hospital account is written off. Allowance for uncollectible accounts is debited to reduce the estimate of future uncollectible accounts. Lots of paperwork. Also, I want to point out that the book value of accounts receivable is the same before and after writing off an uncollectible account. This is true because the same amount is deducted from both accounts receivable and the allowance for uncollected accounts. All right, let's write it in. Our date, allowance for uncollectible accounts in the memorandum 58. Our debit amount, the account title and the customer name. So accounts receivable in Edmonds Hospital, and notice our post-ref has a slash because we need to put two sets of numbers in there. And credit amount, we're going to come back to this slash in a minute. Lots of paperwork still, so this is the one we just did. Notice how we've put numbers in that diagonal line. So transfer the date down to the accounts receivable, the allowance for uncollectible accounts, and Edmonds Hospital. So we're transferring our general journal information into 3 separate charts. Where we write written off for Edmonds Hospital, and we've got general journal page 16 right there. Oh, general journal page number goes there, there, and there. Debit credit amounts, 1, 2, 3. So our debit for allowance for uncollectible accounts, allowance for uncollectible accounts, debit. Our credit, accounts receivable and Edmonds Hospital, credit, credit. Account balance, so do some math, do some math, do some math. That one should be 0 because it's written off. And then put your account number for accounts receivable and your account number for your customer number. All right, so we just wrote off Edmonds Hospital, and then Edmonds Hospital decided to pay. So A business writes off a specific account receivable after determining it probably will not be collected. Sometimes after an account has been written off, the customer pays the delinquent account. Several accounts must be changed to show that Edmonds Hospital paid its account. So March 9th, received cash in full payment of Edmonds Hospital account previously written off as uncollectible. We're using Memorandum 71 and receipt number 695. So several accounts must be changed to show that Edmonds Hospital paid its account. The accounts also should be changed to show a complete history of Edmonds Hospital with 3 green. So you got to do a lot of work when someone decides to pay after you've closed them out. So 2 journal entries are recorded for the collection of a written off account receivable. First of all, the general journal entry reopens the customer account. And then secondly, an entry in cash receipts journal records the cash received on the account. So to show an accurate credit history, Edmonds Hospital is reopened. Accounts receivable is debited for $693.88 to replace the amount previously written off in the general ledger account. And then we have the allowance for uncollectible accounts. It's credited for $639.88 to replace the amount that was removed when Edmonds Hospital account was written off. Also, the Edmonds Hospital account in the accounts receivable ledger is debited for $639.88. This entry to reopen the account is the exact reverse of the entry to write off the hospital account. Okay. Next, after the entry to reopen Edmonds Hospital account is recorded, an entry is made to record the cash received on Edmonds Hospital account. So, accounts receivable, Edmonds Hospital, we have a diagonal line here, Memorandum 71, date the 9th. Probably going to give me all the arrows here. Yep. Okay, diagonal line because it's accounts receivable and Edmonds Hospital. Debit $639.88, and then allowance for uncollectible accounts, credit $639.88. We're not done yet. Still a lot of stuff to do. Excuse me. Sorry. Frogs in my throat today. So the general ledger cash account is affected. Accounts receivable accounts are affected. Those balance out. And then the accounts receivable ledger is affected. So let's put everything in. Okay, here's our cash receipts journal. We just need to make sure that we put Edmonds Hospital for receipt number 695, received money, and it's a credit. And then cash debit, because it got received into our system and then it has to move somewhere else. And here's where we move it. Let's see how everything works. First, we need to post the general journal entry to the general ledger. So the general journal to the general ledger. There we go. And it's accounts receivable and allowance for uncollected accounts. So here we have account number 1130 right there. General journal page 19, general journal page 19. We've got the debit to accounts receivable, debit, and then the credit for allowance for uncollected accounts. Okay, then we bring this one down, reopen the account for Edmonds Hospital. We have customer number 120 right there. This number comes down here for a debit. And we write the word reopen. Post the cash receipts journal entry to the customer account. Cash receipts journal entry. That is from the previous page, actually right here. Cash receipts journal page 18. Okay, that's a cash debit. So we've got the reopen account debit, cash receipts credit, right up there. All right, so we'll practice that and then work together. why is allowance for uncollectible accounts debited when a customer account is written off? Because we need to, because the balance of the customer account is an actual uncollectible amount and no longer an estimate of an uncollectible amount. Does the book value of accounts receivable differ before and after writing off an account? No. It's the same because the same amount is deducted from the accounts receivable and the allowance accounts. Why is a customer account reopened when the account is paid after being previously written off? To show an accurate credit history. We have to reopen it because, there has to be an account where the customer's paying into. So we have to open it up so they can pay it off. And that's it. Nice work.